pleasant occupation. We're at the uneven bars now in this first rotation of the final session, the Romanian team, and first up will be Simona Pauca.
This team has really worked together for a very long time. They help each other. They have a lot of fun in the gym, even though they're so intense. This compulsory can be very tricky. They begin with a very good flare there, cut catch, right to a kip, and she's swinging well so far. This entire Romanian team has depth, and you can see on that handstand, good position in the air, very tough competitors. First off the blocks, right to the handstand. That is what the judges are looking for, and a good pop. Way to begin a routine. Whoa.
What a lovely landing. Simona Pauca.
It's important that that first gymnast up is very secure. She sets the standard. Here's that stomach whip. They want a tight pike there and right into the vertical handstand. And you can see as she does this double leg shoot through, her hips and seat should be way above the bar. They cannot touch or it's a deduction. And this should be in a handstand. Let's take another look at that dismounting slow motion. Her hips should leave the bar right under it, and they should pop way above that high bar. Shoulders and hips should be very high and landing absolutely no steps.
All right, 9.70 for Simona Pauca, the first of the Romanians we have seen, and they're off on a very good start. This is Pauley Pavilion for women's gymnastics in this Olympic game. The western rim of this continent and the city of Los Angeles. Isn't it? Almost. All right, we're back here in Pauley Pavilion. And here the Chinese are on the vault. Number 23 is Wu Jiani.
It's been difficult to assess how well the Chinese gymnasts have been doing over the years. They have improved on strength a great deal. And Wu is a good example of how strength is so important. Whoops, big break there. That's a 5/10 of a point deduction. The vault is difficult. Not only are you going forward very quickly, but you're twisting at the same time. Difficult to land, difficult to know where you are. It's important that the gymnast kick those heels over her head, push from her shoulders, as you'll see right here. Now let's see if she's directly behind that horse. No, she's not. She overspun slightly, and that caused her to land. Take another look at a little higher angle. You can see her kick her feet over her head. She had a bend in her legs also. Big deduction there. Just didn't have it together.
But in the vault, we might point out, the women get two chances and they take their best.
That's right.
Wu Jiani is waiting on her score for her first one, and then she'll go again. She's from the east central coast of China. That's where she was born. She lives now in Shanghai. Her legs were so tiny and rickety as a little girl, they thought she might have polio, and she ran with sandbags wrapped around them to make them strong. Now here she is in the Olympics.
Very tough competitor. There is a holdup on the scores. When there is a discrepancy between the two middle scores, the head judge will call the judges together and either tell them to higher their scores or lower them depending on what her score is.
8.95 she gets. So she's going to have to do better than that on her second vault.
Absolutely.
Now we're back over on the uneven bars with the Romanians. And Agaki, one of their stars.
Obviously, at this level, she has no weak event. In the 1983 World Championship, she tied for second on this event, which meant her compulsories had to be excellent.
18 years old, weighs all of 88 pounds. Comes from the eastern edge of the Carpathian Mountains in Transylvania, Moldavia. A long way from home.
Good position in the air as she does this cut catch. Nice swing there on the kip catch. Watch this handstand. A critical part. She turned right in the handstand position. That's what the judges want. Good handstand on the low bar. Very smooth so far. Whoa, almost on that. Almost fell over. Good position in the air. She really popped up on that dismount. young lady. Look at that extension before she even hits the kip position. Nice glide there. Smoothness and swing. Something the judge looked for. Watch her arms now. They were straight. She turned in the handstand position. Got height before she reached the handstand on the low bar. She should have been a little bit tighter on that shoot-through. But no problem. Almost over on that handstand, but not enough to give too big a deduction. And perfect landing. You can see that her shoulders are pushing back a little bit on that handstand. Little arch in the back. She drops below the bar. Her hips should be away from that high bar. Really flies above that bar. One of the best dismounts I've seen in the competition so far.
Avina Agaki, and her score now is being posted. 9.85. And now, the next big star. They say this is the greatest since Nadia to come out of Romania, Ekaterina Szabo.
Ekaterina tied for second on this event in the World Championships. She has flair. She's exciting to watch. Strength like Mary Lou Retton. And moving exceptionally well now. Turned right in the handstand, pirouetted right up there. So far, Jack, no breaks. She's going to be tough to beat on this event if she makes this dismount, and she does.
Oh, beautiful. Ekaterina Szabo. She feels it too, doesn't she?
Everyone on this team has performed well. Look at that pirouette in the handstand, right on top of the bar. She gets right to the handstand and low bar with distance. Look at that pike right over, swing. No bend in the arms on the handstand. Clear hip right here. She flies above the bar, very smooth routine.
Well, her nickname is Kati. She scored 5 perfect 10s at the World Championship. We can report that Wu Jiani of China got 9.40 on her second vault. And 9.90 here for Szabo of Romania.
Oh, well deserved. Tough competitor. Shades of Nadia. You wonder what Nadia must be thinking at this point.
Yes.
The super slow-mo really shows you the extension of every movement. Now, it's important on that kip that they don't bounce on that low bar, which she did not. You can see her hand movements, straight body position in the air. Look at this pirouette right on top of the bar, and that's where they want to be. There should be some distance between the hips and the hands before they reach that low bar.
Uneven bar, isn't it?
She has all the fullness, extension, and her hips above the bar there, as you can see. This event takes great strength, and there's her handstand and her dismount. Watch how she flies above.
And watching all the while, Nadia Comaneci. Half more of the women's compulsory gymnastics from Paulie later. First rotation actually was fault,
Which they did extremely well in.
and now there's a delay by the judges again. We've had this all day long. It's the only traffic jam in the Olympics in Los Angeles yet. There is Kati Szabo.
Preparing now for the balance beam because that is their next rotation. I might mention one of the reasons for the judges' delay. This is my own opinion, but I think that it's because there are many gymnasts, many judges from the Eastern European countries that did not come, and so there are some new judges out there, and probably a little intimidated by the situation.
Well, it's a very difficult situation, not only for the judges, but for the athletes, these delays. Here is these girls here are finished, these women here finished on the uneven bars, waiting to go to the next apparatus, and here we have 3 more vaults to go. And now we're ready. The second of Maya Hong.
This is actually Zhao Ping from China. Full twist, nice landing. You can see that the Chinese have improved tremendously on their vault. They're getting the height and the distance, and obviously you can see that she's very controlled on the landing.
Our first vault. for Xiaoping.
Watch how her shoulders push very hard. Her arms push hard. Her shoulders take the shock. Good straight body. They want to be finished as good, so we will have to just see if there are any breaks, because that's the only way that we may possibly see the Americans able to lead them. They only have vault left.
This is Mahalia Stanulet.
And her first tumbling run, round off back handspring layout, executed very well so far. The Romanians are showing much more grace than they have in the past. Much more body wave. Softer arms, shoulders down. Here's her second tumbling run. She should have had a little more height on that first handspring into that gainer Timplica. Here's her handstand quarter turn. She should hold that straddle up before she sits, and she did. She should be a little higher on her toes on that turn. Della should have a little better toe point. With 3 back handsprings into a back straddle jump. Of course, they want to see height. This is the critical part of the routine, where balance is so important. Lovely exercise.
Mahalia Stanulet from Sibiu, Romania, 17 years old, and watching is the United States women's team. Coach Don Peters there, and all of them watching Mahalia.
With bated breath, and let's take a look at one of the tumbling runs in the compulsory. There's the round off. You can see good stretch here. Now watch this lift. It should be over her head, which it is. A little bit arched there. It should be almost a straight body position and pike on the end. And nice and high in that straddle jump.
Waiting for her score in the floor exercise. Mahalia Stanulet. 9.80, and the Romanians closing in on the United States. The United States leading by 1/10 of a point, and most likely is going to be in second place. But still not out of it by any means, and the competition in the optionals is going to be rather fierce.
Exactly. We were very strong on the vaulting.
Lara Kutina.
Laura has a lot of elegance. As we said before, compulsory is her strong point.
Floor work is exceptional, he'd say. There is the gymnast strut.
As you call it, Jack.
Right to the center.
Kathy Johnson strut, actually.
Kathy Johnson strut.
Yes.
Yeah.
Judges are watching every move to make sure it's perfected, especially on compulsories. In the optionals, you can hide a little bit, but not in the compulsories. They see every move perfectly. And that first tumbling run was right where she wanted it. Look at the expression.
It's fun.
It makes the routine a lot more fun for the spectators. There's her aerial walkover. Such precision. That second tumbling run. Let's see if she gets height. Very nice. And on her back handspring, she should fly before she comes down. You can see why this young lady is so good on this event. Every move is precise, except for that right there. I spoke too soon. Little stumble. Not only can you stumble on your feet, but on your hands. Her leg should have been just a little bit more than it was on that leap. There's a 3 back handsprings. An elegant gymnast to watch on the floor exercise. Here's that turn. Good horizontal position. All the way around.
Lara Kutina from Bucharest, Romania. One of the rising young stars of the Romanian team, and Olympic coverage will continue in just a moment. The Romanians keep very consistent.
Lavinia has lots of pizzazz on this event, and she extends every move I see a big difference from the time when she was with Nadia and so stifled almost in her expression, and now she's improved it a great deal. And she has the technique. Look how high that aerial was. There's the front tumbling run. Now watch the height right there. Very good. And really high on that back handspring. There's the handstand. This is where some of them bobble. She held it up there, right in the end of that straddle. So far, Jack, she's had a tremendous routine. Watch this jump. Stretch. The full turn coming up. No wobbles there. One of the top routines of the competition.
Back with a pretty smile, Lavinia Agaki from Romania. And now let's take a look in super slow motion.
I think these gymnasts really enjoy this first compulsory tumbling run because it gives them the chance to really fly. They don't have to twist. They don't have to do double back. They can just show off the height that they get. And they really fly in the air, as we've said many times. Look at those shoulders go almost straight up. She has lots of time to watch where she's landing. Bounces up almost as high as her back layout. And all done with very nice technique.
Agaki waiting on her score. On the score. She is a great competitor, though. She father drowned very tragically last year, and 2 months later she was performing brilliantly at the World Championship. 995, hello.
Oh.
And the Romanians are on the move.
She's going to come up and take a bow.
Oh, I want to thank our piano
That's
player.
right. She got a little lost there.
Lavinia Agaki, 995, and that, I think, should put the Romanians at least even or maybe a little ahead of the United States at this point.
The same score that Mary Lou Retton got on the compulsory.
Exactly. That was the one where most people in Frawley Pavilion thought should have been a 10.
That's right. And especially Mary Lou.
Now, Kati Zalbo.
She always shows such great energy and excitement, even on this compulsory routine. Another gymnast with spring, not quite like Mary Lou Retton, but almost. Look at that, sails through the air. Oh, it's good to see the expression coming back into the floor exercise. And yet you see the perfection the Romanians have, inspired by Nadia. Look at the flight on this tumbling run. Oh. Here's that handstand. Quarter turn. Oh, she holds on to that. Almost a disaster there.
Caroli used to coach Kati when she was a young girl. He was her first coach. You can see some of it there, can't you?
Since she was 6 years old. He must have mixed emotions here.
We're told now that Kati needs a 9.80 to take the lead from the United States.
What do you want to bet a 10 here?
I won't bet you, Kathy.
Oh.
It's a lovely, lovely exercise by Ekaterina Sobo.
And she knows it was good.
And now Now, here is Ann Simon.
Jack, if anyone knows about the head-to-head competition between Mary Lou Retton and Katerina Szabo, it certainly is Bella Caroli. How close is it going to be, Bella?
Well, I believe there is already a close competition, even though Szabo blew up her beam routine, doing 2 major mistakes. But still very close, and I believe the competition for the first place is going to be in between these 2 kids.
How difficult is it to watch her after you coached her when she was a young girl?
It's nice to watch her, and I would like to see her in a great progress. Actually, she's just maintaining her shape how I left her in '81 over there as the European champion.
Bella Caroli, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you very much, Ann. Bela Caroli, of course, was Nadia Comaneci's coach. He came over here to the United States and now coaches Mary Lou Retton and Julianne McNamara. And he was Ms. Szabo's first coach. As she waits here, well, Bela didn't think she got a 10.
No.
There it is. She did a 10. A 10. For Katerina Szabo, the first one in this women's competition.
Tremendous gymnast. Following right down the path of Nadia Comaneci.
Who is up on her feet, applauding Katy Szabo. As is most of Pauley Pavilion. First perfect score for the women. And that puts, of course, the Romanians ahead of the United States. So things heating up here at Pauley Pavilion. And Olympic coverage will cover with more gym continuing. These women were in 3rd place. Jack Whitaker along with Kathy Rigby McCoy. Can lightning strike again?
Oh, I think absolutely can. The U.S. women are coming into this competition only 4.5 of a point behind Romania. That's not a lot. Their optional routines are stronger than their compulsory, and they have that great psychological boost from the men's spectacular competition last night.